Hey, this is Corey from Wolfpack Woodcraft, and this channel is all about using outdoor gear to keep us as comfortable as possible. And one of the things that I find comfort in is having a physical map. Everybody says that you need a map and compass. A lot of people use GPS. The problem with GPS is the batteries can die. If it falls on some rocks and breaks, you don't have anything anymore. A physical map, you can drop, it's never going to run out of batteries. It's always going to be there for you. And so I like maps. And one of the things that I get asked a lot is, where do I find my maps? And the maps that I get start usually, I have a National Geographic Minnesota Recreational Atlas. And the reason I like this one so much is because in the front here, it has camping information. And so it has a whole list of things. And so this is a really good starting point. Okay, so a lot of these campsites are heavily populated all year round. A lot of them are very expensive, but it's a good place to find, because if you can find like state park information, if you can find a state park, there might be little campgrounds, little hidden gems next to those state parks. If you can find state forests and national trails, there's hidden gems on those trails. There's little dispersed camping sections on a lot of these trails. And so by starting here, I can find a trail, right? Superior Hiking Trail. And then I can go to the section and I can kind of see what the Superior Hiking Trail looks like. I can look and see that there's a bunch of little camping sections. And then what I can go from there is I can go online and find a bunch of maps. I have a ton of printed out maps. Okay, there's another one here. I have a lot printed out maps. Here's some even more printed out maps. And I get these, and the ones that I use all the time, I laminate. And the reason that I get those, so like if I use sticky notes for page markers. So the page marker here is Itasca State Park. This is Chippewa National Forest. And so the thing I don't like about using this for everything is Chippewa National Park's right here, and they have all this other stuff. And so you really don't get a close look at what you're trying to see. And so I go online and I print out a closer representation of Chippewa National Forest. And then this one has all the little campsites boxed in red. So I can go and I can see all this, I can get all the information. And so this one is laminated because it's important information to me. But if you don't have a laminator, you can use a Ziploc bag. I still use this Ziploc bag. It's got like food on it, something spilt on it, but I still use it. And the reason that I like the Ziploc bag is because with the laminator, it's just stuck like this. With the Ziploc bag, I can take this out and put something else in there and then plan my trip and then take it out, put another thing in there. And both of these I can use dry erase markers. And so I can plan out my trip, I can circle where I want to go, what my plan A is, what my plan B is, what my plan C is, and I can make notes, where do I need to be, where do I need to park. I can do all these things, and then when the trip is over, erase it and then just start again. So I like having it either laminated or in here for dry erase purposes. And then I print out physical copies. So this is Chippewa National Forest, and then it has all the camping locations in red. And then these are those red boxes, even closer yet. And these are what I put in the Ziploc. And then I have a printout of all the symbology for the maps. And so if I see something and I don't know what that symbol is, I can look and see what that is. And so I use the internet for almost all my mapping. I use store-bought maps to find locations. But from there, I explore on the internet. I'll leave links to all these in the description box down below, but fs.fed.us is good for national parks. And so if I want to go and explore some national parks or national forests, that's where I go to get a lot of these maps. Freecampsite.net. It's not the best website. It's got a lot of locations in it. There's a lot of places that you can go to and look up free camping, paid camping. The problem is it's not really a camping site. It's more of a boondock site. It's for people that live in their RVs or live in their campers. And so a lot of the free camping sites are like Walmart parking lots, truck stops. They're not really camping locations. They're just places that you can park overnight with your big RV or camper. And so you're going to have to do more research. It's good for finding like hidden gems. There's a lot of hidden gems in that website. And so it's a really good resource, but you got to make sure to do extra homework. Like me, I start with the book, and then I use a lot of different websites before I find a place. Free campsite, you're gonna have to do a lot of homework with. You can't take it for what it is. dnr.state.mn.us state forest is where I get all my state forest maps. So Carla State Park, Itasca State Park, all the state parks and state forests. Chippewa National Forest is in there. Sand Hill State Forest, Lyon State Forest. That's where I get a lot of the maps for that. And then the old tried and true Google Maps. And so like I was saying before, I'd plan out my trips. And Google Maps really helps a lot. And the way that I do it is I don't plan one thing. Because what ends up happening is you're like, I'm going to go to site 1, I'm going to park right here, and it's going to be great. And then you get there, and site 1 is packed. There's parking, there's nowhere to park, and now what do? Right? So I typically have 4 or 5 options. And so I'll have site 1, site 4, site 24, and 22. Okay? And so if I get there and site 1 is packed, I can go to site 4 and I can try there. And then I can go to 24, try there, and 22, try there. And I can pick the best of the 4. And the other thing that I like to do with Google Maps is sometimes you'll find like a section of road, and then there'll be like a beaten path where people park on the side of the road. You can use that information to be like, well, if I get there, I'll park there, and that's how people are getting into the national forests or the state forests where there's free dispersed camping. You can see where people are parked, or you can see little turnarounds where people park in the turnarounds. You can see all these things in satellite view. And so you go to Google Maps, you find the state forest or the park that you're looking for, you switch to satellite view, and then just kind of explore it a little bit. And so when you get there, you can say, hey, there's a spot on the side of the road, leave the note right on here, there's a spot on the side of the road. And so if you get there and all the parking's packed, you can go around back and you can see if that little beaten path has free parking, and use that instead. So there's a lot of information online. Use it to your advantage and make sure that you plan not a single location but multiple locations, so that when you get out there you can spend more time having fun and enjoying yourself and less time anxious and depressed because nothing is working out. Okay, so with that being said, leave any knowledge or questions in that comment section. I want to know, where do you get your maps? Where do you find the ability to find those little hidden gems? What websites and resources do you use? Leave that in the comment section down below, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.